How does it work when you lease a car? People lease cars because they find it more economical to lease a vehicle than to buy or rent one. Leasing a car entails agreeing to pay a certain sum every month to the lease trader for a certain period of time. When this period ends, the vehicle is returned to the lease trader and any deposit is refunded to the consumer, assuming that there are no damages to be paid and that the vehicle is within the specified miles or kilometers mentioned in the car lease agreement. Students on short visas and young executives who feel they might have some greater expenditures down the years, like purchasing a flat or apartment, are the ideal candidates for car lease contracts. There are basically three main players in any car lease deal. One is the car dealer, the other is the consumer, and the third is the lease trader, the company who actually buys the car from the dealer and leases it to the consumer. The process of taking out a car lease from a car lease trader is simple, and the business of car lease trading is turning out to be big-time business by the look of things. People dealing in leasing cars are popularly known as lease busters. They are the companies that deal in taking out a new auto lease, help individuals assume a lease, or auto lease takeover as it is known, which is basically the process to break a lease. People who want to break a lease are the people who have taken out an auto lease from a lease trader and find that they no longer need the lease, but giving up the vehicle will cost them a bit according to the terms and conditions they agreed to with the lease trader. These people then go out and look for someone who will assume a car lease. To assume lease basically means to take over a car lease from a person who already has one. This is also called swap a lease. To swap a lease is the best way towards early lease termination. In order to get out of car lease, a consumer will have to offer some sort of incentive as well as find a way to save some money on the deal. People looking to get out of car lease early usually offer a few months discount on the remaining period of the lease. For example, if the time remaining for the lease is 8 months, they will ask the person to take over the lease for 6 months. This way, the person willing to assume a car lease will profit by 2 months on the deal. Finding a person to assume a car lease is not such an easy task. However, registering with a lease buster can solve this problem quite easily. In this case, a lease buster is not a car lease company but a lease trader. These companies have portals where people looking to assume car lease register and list their requirements. The lease trader matches car lease seller with car lease buyer. When the match is made, the process of taking over car lease begins. The lease trader usually sends the documents to the leasing company, which may approve the transfer and send in some forms that will need filling. The lease trader will assist both the individuals in the process and ensure that the deal goes through smoothly. In order to get out of car lease early and get the best deal possible, it is advisable to find the best lease trader and list your requirements at the earliest. Car lease traders are an advantage for both the seller of the lease as well as the buyer.